Hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges, the daily show that equips team leaders to lead their way through the challenges they face every day. So today, I want to talk about leaders who kill productivity, confidence, and morale by doing this one thing. And actually, there's good news today, though, because the good news is that it may just be a blind spot of yours. And if it is, you'll be able to make adjustments to stop doing it. Now, before I get into that, I want to thank you for listening and sharing this show. You see, my goal is to reach as many leaders possible throughout the entire world because our world needs better leaders. Our world needs equipped leaders like never before. And unfortunately, 70% of mid-tier, mid-level, or backbone leaders are actually getting any kind of training, but they're expected to know it. So that's my goal. And I'm making that my mission for the rest of my life is to create a place where leaders can learn. And the membership group is just an extension of this podcast. Because let's face it, leadership is a never-ending learning process. You're constantly learning. And as always, I'm equally as interested in hearing what you want me to talk about. So please share your challenges and struggles and leave a comment if you want to on any platform you listen on, or you can email me at paul@clcteam.com. Okay, so let's talk about this one thing that when leaders do it, it absolutely can kill productivity, confidence, and morale within the entire team. And that one thing is using the wrong leadership style on your people. Now, I'm primarily talking about situational leadership here and the four styles that it presents. The four styles are telling, selling, participating, and delegating, in which the telling and selling, you're using those styles for when a person does not know the task well enough to, be sent on their own. The participating and delegating is where they know the task, and now the participating, you're just pushing them and giving them the confidence, and the delegating, you're giving them that task and just letting them go. Now, the thing I love about situational leadership, that, by the way, was introduced by Hershey and Blanchard, is that it's task specific. And what I mean by this is you can technically be leading somebody with a delegating style on one task, but then you may be leading them in a telling style on a completely different task that they're just learning. So essentially, you may be leading that same person in any one of these four leadership styles, dependent on where they are and how qualified they are on the task. Now, I learned the value of situational leadership early on in my career, many, many years ago, when I was leading a few people in the selling style, when I should have actually been leading them in the delegating style. You see, they were fully certified on a certain task, and I was leading them as if they were still learning. I was explaining things and then having them do it and watching me do it and then have them do it. And needless to say, these people were disappointed and thought I was micromanaging them. And I could see where they could have thought that. And although it looked like I was micromanaging them, the key difference is that I was not fully aware that they were certified on the task that I was leading them through. So I was kind of guiding them through the task as if they didn't know it. As the day went on, I could see the productivity of these few team members go down. And I could also see their morale was really dragging, to say the least. It was only when I noticed this, when I asked them if everything was all right. And I kind of kept on them. I was like, hey, something's bothering y'all. What is it? And then one by one, they told me that they were already certified on this task and they knew how to do it. Well, not only was I embarrassed, but I immediately apologized to them and then delegated the rest of the task fully to them. I gave them the job and I walked away, in which they instantly perked up and picked up the productivity. It was magic. Now, on a side note, I believe that micromanaging is when a leader or manager is well aware of the individual's skill level and still choose to lead them with a telling or selling style. You see, micromanagers generally need to be fully in charge. They don't want to relinquish any of their power very easily. Now, let's get back to situational leadership. And the opposite of what I just explained about leading with a telling style when I should have been delegating, the opposite can occur as well. Whereas a leader can lead a team member in a delegating style when the individual is not certified on the task at all. They might be brand new at the task. That can quickly lead to a lack of confidence, especially if the team member makes some mistakes or some serious mistakes, or they have a lot of questions that they're continually asking. Now, ironically, when any of your people ask you a lot of questions about a specific task, they are basically asking you to revert back to a participation or selling or telling leadership style because they're coming to you and asking those questions. That's when you as a leader need to really perk up and figure out what level they're at in that task. And I'll tell you, this is not restricted to new people. You could be using a delegating leadership style on a veteran team member, but you come across one task and they may not know it. Maybe it's a brand new task or a new change or something like that, and you have to go about it differently sometimes. Now, granted, if they're a real seasoned veteran, you're probably going to go from telling to selling to participating right on down to delegating, especially if it's something that was similar to what they've done in the past. So today's challenge is for you to consider everyone on your team and or your coworkers that you lead or manage on any given day. And ask yourself if you are leading them correctly throughout your day. Are they the experts in the tasks that they're doing? If so, are you using a delegative style? Are you giving them that job and just letting them go? If they are just learning the task, on the other hand, you want to use that telling and then progress up to the selling, then the participating. And finally, your goal is always to get to that delegating style once they become confident in their abilities. So the biggest challenge today and the biggest tip, I guess, is to let your experts perform. Let them take the reins of whatever task they're doing and don't butt in. Let them work. Let them do their job. Hey, that's it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And until tomorrow, run to your challenges.